Hello and welcome to Connect. I'm your host, Randy Shabilo. Today's show will have Stephen Duke from the Awl Shoppe, and we'll be talking about luggage, as well as Candace Savage and Marielle Gauthier from the Saskatoon Fiddle Orchestra and their 15th anniversary. As always, we'd like to connect with you.
Tweet us at connect_YXZ. Follow us on Facebook to watch new and past interviews, or email connectyxe@gmail.com with any future guest or topic suggestions.
A number of us have been on several trips, maybe not necessarily around the world, but through airports, and recently I paid attention to a number of people flowing through airports with ease with some of their luggage, and others a little bit of a chore. So I've invited Stephen Duke with the Awl Shoppe to come and give us some background about what he sees in terms of sales and some of the things that I've experienced as well. So Stephen, I want to thank you for taking some time today.
For sure.
Tell us a little bit about the luggage that's available, because as I mentioned, there's pilots and airline stewardesses and stewards that maybe fly daily, and the equipment they use is different than the bags that I carry through an airport. So what is it that you see in terms of sizes and popularity with people?
A lot of people like to, especially now, are trying to get everything in a carry-on, because airlines are charging for every checked bag $30 to $50, which can be quite annoying, especially if you've got multiple flights. Adds up quickly. So a lot of people are trying to get carry-ons that fit in your overhead bins, but now every single airline has a different size requirement, which is throwing a lot of people. Some are quite small, some are quite large. Sunwing, for example, typically has the lowest weight allowance for carry-on bags at 10 pounds. So you can't take very much on a carry-on, so they will charge you for a checked bag where your stuff's going to be. And if you're able to have everything in a carry-on together, it means no waiting at carousels, which is another nice feature of that.
So it's that simplicity, I guess, and I've noticed that some people, it's interesting what's considered a carry-on.
Yes.
When you look at sizes, if different airlines, I mentioned to you about Ryanair or WestJet and United, when they have the little compartments that you're supposed to test some of those bags, are there different sizes with different types of planes that are on the market that people should be aware of?
So Air Canada's size requirement is 21 by 15 inches by 9 inches, but that won't fit in the overhead compartment of a Bombardier Q400. So you're going to get sky checked even though you've got a bag that's the official size. It's too big to be put onto such a small aircraft.
So if I'm looking for efficiencies to not have to go through and wait for my baggage after, sometimes that's a bit of a delay then if they do have to take it. How would I know that then if I book my flight and I have two connections going down to Florida as an example? Would I have to get some size requirements from the airline ahead of time, or how would I do that?
When you book your flight, always check before you get your luggage ready to go. Double check on their websites for what each airline's going to allow you, because even if it won't fit in the overhead bin on that particular aircraft, you're just going to get sky checked. So they'll take it away from you at the gate and give it back to you at the gate, just because the bag was a little bit too big, but it was still technically a carry-on.
So you've been in sales for a while. What types of things have people brought back to you in terms of, I'm not going to say horror stories, but some factual stories that they've had experiences with their luggage that they've had to replace?
Well, even you buy something inexpensive, then it can last you 10 years, and then finally you're coming into the shop with a missing wheel, or you buy something expensive and then on your first trip the wheel's gone missing. It's all up to your luck, really. But I see a lot of cracked hard shells. Plastic hard shells crack quite easily. Four-wheel bags love to have the back wheels come off, and as well, if they get a rock inside the bearings, they'll jam up, and if you keep dragging that bag, you're going to end up completely shearing the wheel off yourself.
So are there different warranties that you would offer, or the baggage companies themselves would offer me as a traveler?
Every luggage company offers a different warranty. Lots of them love to say 10-year warranty on the ticket, but then when you actually read it, it doesn't cover airline damage or wear and tear or anything that's going to actually happen to your bag. Versus some other companies, if you read their tickets, they actually will cover everything, including airline damage. But all in all, you should always claim damaged luggage with your airline, because even if they don't pay for your bag, you might get a few bucks for your next trip, which is always worth it.
Sure. I guess that's a question I'm kind of thinking about is where else would it get damaged except with the airline? So, case in point, when we look at soft shell luggage, and I've seen many people just very easily pushing their bags through airports and so on. Are there different features that you look for when you're purchasing something?
Yeah, mainly durability. So having a lighter bag usually means it's a weaker bag because they've taken away a lot of the frames and the reinforcements to parts to save weight. Like this stuff I've got here is quite heavy, but it's also built with ballistic nylon. It's got extra aluminum frame and corrugated plastic. So it did add some weight, but it's going to take a lot more of a beating. And since it's a fabric versus a hard plastic, I can actually patch that kind of stuff. Hard plastic, if it cracks, it's done. It's into the bin with it.
So when you have internal handles, I know I've had that happen where you're going through the checkout or taking your bag and trying to get it off or on the carousel, and the handle won't go down. Is there any secrets to that?
If you're in the middle of the trip, you should open your bag up. There'll be a zipper down the center. Open that and look for the two little silver notches and try and push those in. They're the locks, and you'll be able to slide it down. Don't take your handle back out, but at least you'll get the handle out of the way for the rest of the trip.
Yeah. Use a hacksaw and cut them off, I guess.
I've seen that too, actually.
You have some other items with you in terms
Yeah.
of carry-on and compression stockings and so on. What's happening there?
So we brought these down with a PackSafe dummy bag. So they've done the cutaway on this, so you can see like the wires inside. So if someone slashes your bag will be damaged, but your camera won't fall out. Is the idea with that?
I understand. Yeah.
Yeah, and wires running through all the strapping to stop people from slashing the actual strap. So that's not what the bags actually look like. The bags actually do look like nice purses and stuff. But inside they have all this, and they have RFID blocking pockets to stop people from scanning credit cards and passports on the inside. And same with like this money belt here, it's large enough to put boarding passes and passports and stop people from scanning as well, because that's a big thing nowadays.
So for the help of some of us, can you explain what a scanning process would do and how that happens?
So it's RFID, so radio frequency identification, and it's the same technology that our like credit cards and debit cards use for tap, but that also left them vulnerable for scanning. So thieves are able to scan the information off your cards, and actually our passports now have an electronic chip that's readable as well now. So having something like this will prevent that.
And that would just be caused by someone bumping up to you?
Don't even have to get that close anymore. Yeah,
Oh.
these more powerful scanners can reach further. You just need something, usually aluminum, in the way to kind of block that. Like we do carry wallets that have got inside the leather, they've wrapped it with aluminum to protect the entire wallet.
When we talk about the stockings, I found that interesting. Explain a little bit about those.
Their idea is to keep the blood flow away from your legs. So for sitting on a 12-hour flight over to Asia, your blood's going to start pooling in your feet and your legs. So having something compressing your feet and your legs is going to keep that blood up higher in your body. You should also make sure you're walking around on the aircraft every hour or so. Keep your heart pumping and avoid blood clots, which can be a thing.
Deep vein thrombosis
Yes.
type. Yeah. When we see people in airports that might have some damage, you're recommending that they go through and place that claim with the airline. There aren't a lot of repair shops for luggage.
There aren't. We're the only one in Saskatchewan. I think there's two in Alberta, and I know there's one in Winnipeg. So it's not really a thing anymore. Most people see their wheels missing, they'll just toss it. It's always worth going to your airline as soon as you notice the damage right off the carousel and claiming it with the airline you were just on. Hopefully they'll give you a few bucks towards your next flight, or they'll pay for a replacement or repair, depending. WestJet, what they do now is you put in your claim, come to us, we'll fix your bag, and then you submit your receipts and they'll reimburse you for your repair. Yeah.
What do you see for the frequent flyer that maybe travels 2 times a month, 3 times a month? What do they typically look for?
They typically look for durability and a warranty, because they don't want to be halfway through a trip where they needed their wheels and they're missing 3 out of 4.
Hard to push that to an airport.
And they also do look for ease of access on how things work together, so that their set works as one. That way they can move quite quickly through the airports. Like we've all seen their pilots with, they have 3 bags all chained up and they fly through an airport.
Can I maybe just ask you to show some of the items that you have in that carry-on
Yeah.
at the top bay, because it is quite impressive.
So what we've done here is packed on our travel packing cube. So we've got our toiletry bag, all the pants you need for a week, t-shirts you'll need for a week, and underwear you'll need for a week. So you'll be able to fit all of that, including a towel, because not all hotels have nice towels, into one carry-on bag that will actually fit under the seat in front of you on most aircraft.
And if it had to go overhead, in most overhead bins as well?
This bag particularly is it's a rolling cabin bag, would fit in almost every single overhead bin. I can't think of any that it wouldn't, even a Q400.
And when we have the need to start shopping for something like that, what would you recommend for people to do when they're comparing items for sale at different places? What are some key takeaways that they can look for?
Warranty, always warranty. Even if it says 10-year, read the fine print, because it probably won't cover a lot.
Stephen, I want to thank you for enlightening us. I know that traveling is changing over the years, and generally for the better, but I want to thank you and your staff for helping us out with explaining that for us, and wish you all the best.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me on.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.